welcome back, Camly. This lighting is really weird. This spot is really weird. I'm like right by my front door. This is the only window that has light right now. And the sun might go away any second. So I apologize for just like, I don't know. This is weird. This is weird right here. And it's all like dark back there. It's scary, don't look. Anyways, it has been quite a while since I've done a Q&A, and I figured I could just answer some questions. Let's get right into it. Starting off strong with the question, how are you truly doing? It's always a good one. This period of my life is just such an interesting time. I feel like such a broken record, being like, things are really weird right now, but they're getting better. But that's really just how it's been lately. Things have been really weird, and they're just like slowly getting a little better day by day. And then I keep feeling like I'm on the cusp of things like really picking up in my life, things really getting better. I have all this momentum and motivation, and then I'm just hit with another blow straight to the gut. And sometimes that'll come in the form of a wave of grief. Sometimes it's just an obstacle in my way. I'm trying to get something done, and for some reason out of my control, I just can't. Or I just get like really depressed all of a sudden. And it's getting to the point where I don't even really like to talk about it anymore, how I'm really doing, because I really do try to be hopeful, especially on here. I always want to spread a positive message. Even when I'm doing my worst, I try to see the good. But lately it feels like I come on here, make these videos, talk to you guys about how I'm doing, and it's pretty clear that I'm not really doing great, and then next week nothing changes. But that's real life, and I'm never again gonna hide how I'm really doing from you guys. But sometimes it's just like, man, am I really gonna come on here again and say that like, yeah, not doing great, hopefully things get better. I want to inspire people, I want to be there for people, but how helpful can I really be to come on here and share the message of, you know, sometimes things are hard and that's okay, when that really doesn't get anyone anywhere after hearing that so many times. And I do feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to spread encouragement and inspire people. But yeah, it's been months now where I've just like not really been doing great. But I can recognize that this is one of those periods in my life, because I've experienced many periods like this before, where things are just really hard and they don't seem to be getting better, and the more I try, the more I just feel defeated. It does eventually get better every time. And after I kind of make it through, I can always look back and realize that needed to happen. That helped me learn these lessons. That period of time that I struggled, it really helped me to grow, and now I'm here. All I need to do at this point is just try the best that I can. And if I can end every day knowing that I gave that day my best, then that's all I gotta do. So yeah, honestly not great, and frustrated that that's all I have to say. Update on the spiders. Well, unfortunately one of the spiders died. Coco's spider didn't make it. Their life expectancy isn't very long. They're only expected to live like 1 to 2 years. So I mean, who knows how old that spider was when we got her. But yeah, rip Arma, but we still got Speckle and Minnie Mouse doing really well. What are all of your pets' names? Well, as I just said, we have our 2 jumping spiders, Speckle and Minnie Mouse. And I have my dog Ozzy, of course, which I'm always getting questions about him lately. People being like, what happened to Ozzy? Where's Ozzy? And I'm like, he's snoring in the background of pretty much all my videos. He's still with us, he's doing good. And if that ever changes, you know, I'd let you guys know. You don't need to keep asking. And then I have my ball python, Cecilia. Are you dating anyone? No, very much no. Not even talking to anyone. I just really don't know anyone here yet. And I'm not really looking for someone. As I said, I'm just kind of going through a weird period of my life right now, and I really just need to make it through this alone. My vibes are down here, and to go out into the dating world and like put those vibes out, no. You get back the energy you put out, and this energy is not what I want to be putting out. I could see myself trying to date again at some point relatively soon, but it's also just like, I don't want to have to go out and like find a partner. I kind of have it in my head that like the universe has got me. The second that person is supposed to enter my life, they will. And it'll happen in some random weird way, and I won't be expecting it or looking for it, and it'll just happen exactly how it needs to happen. I just don't want to force anything. If you were in a relationship, would you keep it private? I'd like to say yes, but if I'm honest, probably not. Obviously, I'd keep it quiet for like the first while. Maybe like around the time they meet my kids, I would also start like posting about them. But yeah, love is beautiful, and even if it doesn't last forever, I still want to be able to share the love that I'm experiencing with the world. I think in the past I really worried about like how embarrassing would that be to post my relationship and then we break up. And then that happened and I'm like, okay, couples break up all the time. But then again, it also just kind of depends on like what that relationship is like. If it's something that I want to just keep private and keep to myself. Every relationship is different, and in the past I really wanted to share all the love and excitement I was experiencing, even though I was very much judged for it. But yeah, it really just depends on a lot of things, as well as what my future partner is comfortable with. How have things been for you since coming out? How do you deal with any hate you get? I've definitely lost a lot of followers since coming out, and there's been times before where I've like lost a large amount of followers due to something just kind of all at once, and it's like, ouch, okay. But when it comes to that, like I don't want someone who is gonna unfollow me just because I'm queer to be following me in the first place. If you are so against the LGBTQ community to where you wouldn't even like follow someone who identifies with it, then please unfollow me. You are not welcome here. I'm really passionate about the things that I believe in, and equal rights for everyone, regardless of who they love. That is something that I'm always gonna stand by. And if you're against that, then see ya. But yeah, when it comes to hate comments, some hurt more than others. Homophobic hate comments are ones that I really don't care about because I just simply like don't agree whatsoever. That's very much a them problem that they have going on. If they hate people based on who they love, does not impact me in any way. I'm gonna continue living my life and being who I am. Is Coco starting kindergarten soon? She is. She's gonna be starting kindergarten this fall. I'm so excited for her. It's also pretty sad for me. She's still in daycare until kindergarten starts. And I've been telling her, like, once you're 5, you're gonna get to go to kindergarten. Well, she's 5 now, and she's still going to daycare, and she's not happy about it. She thought the second she turned 5, she'd get to go to kindergarten. It doesn't work like that. Do you ever miss not being a single parent? Absolutely. Being a single parent is one of those things that really never gets easier. There's no relief. You don't get a break. Nothing about it really changes until you're not single anymore. And I've been a single parent for a very long time now. I mean, since Dee Dee was born. So while I am used to it, it's still very hard and hasn't gotten any easier. I very much do miss living in a 2-parent household. It was just so much simpler. As a single parent, there's situations where you're just kind of like stuck. Like if I'm in the grocery store and I have a cart full of groceries and I've been waiting in line for my turn to check out, and then one of my kids is like, I need to go potty. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. My kid's telling me I need to pee, like I'm about to pee my pants. And the cashier's just like, you have all this stuff here. Like I can't just leave all my stuff, which this is based on a true story, happened recently. And it ended with an accident in the middle of the grocery store. In moments like that, it's just so difficult. I wish I could clone myself because it really does take 2 people. One person can do it and they can give it their all and try their best, but it's really not something that's meant to be done alone. What do you see in the girls that reminds you of yourself? Coco is so brave. She doesn't know fear. She'll do anything without even second guessing herself. she's just a doer. She just does stuff without thinking, which can bite her in the butt sometimes, but it's something that reminds me a lot of especially my younger self. And then Dee Dee is just such a performer. She loves having an audience. She loves to make people laugh. She's just silly, and I'm pretty silly. How are you coping with loss at the moment? Well, as I'm recording this, Landon's birthday is tomorrow, and it's always tough this time of year. I've done a lot to work through my grief, and it's to the point now where missing him isn't a daily thing anymore. I think about him every day, but it's not always this painful, deep grief. I think the hardest part at this point in my grief has been raising kids who don't have a dad. Coco asks so many questions, and a lot of those questions are just really hard to answer. And I'm constantly asking myself, okay, do I need to be honest right now, or do I need to protect her right now? Because she really asks some hard-hitting questions at times. And if I were to be really honest with her, I don't think she could handle it at age 5. But I never want to lie to her, and I never want to dismiss her questions. But I do what I think is right as her mother. How do you remain so positive? As I was saying earlier, I always want to spread positivity. I never want to come on here and just be super negative. But lately, it's been really hard to be positive. But as a mom, I've really learned how to give the best parts of myself to other people. Sometimes I don't have it in me to do so, and that's okay. But yeah, my self-talk, just the voice in my head, it's been rather negative lately. I've not been feeling great about myself, about where I'm at. I'm not where I'd like to be. I'm really angry with myself for feeling that way in the first place and feeling like I'm not able to do anything about it. So it's just this continuous cycle of like self-blame and self-hatred. But I'm in therapy now. I hadn't been going to therapy for quite a while, and just in a few months of not being in therapy, I feel like I was already backsliding. And that's something that I've been working really hard on in therapy, is just self-acceptance, just really having compassion for myself and talking kindly to myself. So I think the lack of being able to put that into practice with a professional really has done some damage that we're trying to fix. But yeah, I really recommend therapy. What's one thing you regretted at the time, but now you're glad it happened? I wouldn't say, maybe regret isn't the right word, but I was definitely like pissed off about it at the time. When I turned 18, me and Landon moved to Austin and left Florida behind. And it felt so good to leave Florida. We hated Florida, and I was so happy to be in Austin finally. I've always dreamed of living here. And then when he passed away, I had to move back to Florida to be closer to family. I was so mad. I was like, I just left Florida. This is so awful. I don't want to be back here. Looking back, I'm really glad I was in Florida during that time. There's so much that I got out of that time living there. I made so many friends. I really discovered myself, and it was good to do so in a space where I had family around. It's really where I needed to be at that time, and I'm always going to look back on that period of my life very fondly. What is the best thing to come out of 2023 so far? Probably starting therapy. I've had like 4 sessions so far, and I already feel so much better. What's your next crochet project gonna be? I think I'm gonna do a shag, I think it's called. It's basically like sleeves, like a sweater that's just kind of like cut off at the collarbone. Seems easy enough, and that's gonna be my first like garment. I've done beanies and I've done purses. Now I'm ready to do some clothes. Are you planning on getting any more pets? Not at the moment, but I do really enjoy having pets. I love learning about a new animal and how to take care of them best. And I think eventually I want to get a gargoyle gecko, and even further down the line, a cat. Just whenever the girls are old enough, really. Again, I'm sorry this lighting has just been all over the place this video. All right, last question. Thoughts on baby ear piercings? See, I got Coco's ears pierced when she was probably like 2 months old. She had them for quite a while, but kept ripping them out. And then we'd like lose the earring, couldn't find it anywhere, assumed that she swallowed it. And then we just gave up on trying to keep earrings in her ears. And then I never pierced Dee Dee's ears. Looking back, I wouldn't do it again. It's not that I see something like super wrong with it. I think compared to circumcision, it is definitely not as bad as that, which is such a normal practice. It's just such a vanity thing. And why do we need our baby to look like a little girl? Because if that's your whole reason for doing it, maybe take a step back and ask why you care so much the gender that your infant is perceived to be. They're babies. Even now, people assume Dee Dee's a boy, and I never correct them. I'm just like, yeah, little dude. Because it just doesn't matter. I understand piercing a baby girl's ears. There's different cultural practices. Every culture is different, and there's different reasons for each culture to be doing that. But in my case, looking back, just because I wanted people to know she's a girl, she's literally a baby, it doesn't matter. That wraps up today's video. This went on kind of longer than I thought it would. Hope you enjoyed just hearing me ramble. I always love filming these videos. It really feels like we're just kind of catching up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, Cam&Fam.